Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, and today is going to be a lightning quick video for a lightning quick deck. Red has got better due to Cori-Steel Cutter. It's the only new card we're playing in the deck. It's a 2-mana artifact equipment. It says the quick creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and haste, but it has flurry, which is a new keyword but not a new mechanic. Flurry means something happens when you cast your second spell each turn. So this is when you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. You may attach this equipment to it. So the idea is we want to have a very low curve so we can get the cutter out and then ideally play multiple cards on our turn, or even our opponent's turn, but mostly our turn, to create another 1/1 white monk token, attach the cutter to it. Because it's got prowess, our monk will get stronger for every spell we cast. So that's the aim. And the other creatures we have are Swiftshot, Showoff, which we can obviously plot for 1 and a red. And if we have Steel Cutter and Cori-Steel Cutter and the Showoff, we generally want to plot the Showoff, cast the Steel Cutter next turn, then cast the Showoff for free, so we immediately get that monk token. And then if we have a 1-mana play and say 3 lands, we can then, Monstrous Rage on the Showoff, buff everything. And then we also do have Monastery Swiftspear as the OG prowess 1-drop, I should say. And we are playing blue. Basically, one of the weaknesses from flurry decks, or second spell decks, or second spell cards, is you can quickly run out of cards to play, and that's why we're playing blue. We have ways to stock up. One of those is stock up. 3 mana, look at the top 5 of your library, but 2 in your hand, and the rest of the bottom library in any order. It's the most expensive card in our deck. And yeah, we look 5 deep, put 2 into a hand, and that might be a land if we need it, or a couple more 1-drops. We have Opt, 1 mana, scry 1, draw a card. And we do have 2 copies of Combat Research, which is not an instant. It beats Enchanted Creature. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then it has some legendary stuff. We don't have any legendaries. It's not an instant or hasn't got flash, so we do have to play at sorcery speed. But one of the big things about the red prowess decks is you see how your opponent does and how they block, or if they remove something before you throw stuff onto your creatures. But if we've got a Showoff and our opponent is tapped out or hasn't got any reach creatures, we can put it on that safely. It'll trigger prowess, it'll trigger the Slickshot's pseudo prowess, it'll trigger the Steel Cutter if it's a second card, and then we can get a hit in and draw. And the rest is red 1-drops. 4 bolt waves to go 3 to a face. 4 burst lightnings go 2 to any target. We can kick it for 5 to a 4 to any target. 4 monstrous rage, everyone knows this. 4 shocks and 2 turn inside out. Give target creature +3/+0 turn of turn. When it dies its turn, manifest dread. So the idea is we have our creatures, we just load them up or go face or take out creatures which will trigger prowess, trigger Slickshot, trigger the cutter, and we just go wide that way. Mana base, we've only got 20 lands. Sometimes I think we might even go lower because the amount of games I drew 5 or 6 lands, which in a deck like this is not needed, especially we have so much card draw as well. But we only have 1 island because basically we only have 2 blue 1-drops, so everything goes to red. 7 mountains, and then 4 verges, 4 Shivan Reefs, and 4 Spire Bluff Canals. So that's the deck. So I said a lightning quick deck tech for a lightning quick video for a lightning quick deck. So hope you enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Well, we go first with a slow hand. If we get a stock up, I think we'll be fine. I have kept a no creature land deck hand before, and it's the only game we've lost so far, so maybe I shouldn't. But I think with 3 lands and 2 stock ups, we should be fine. And we're on the play, which does help. Oh, and a 3rd stock up. Let's get the cutter and a Showoff. And we will plot the Showoff. Well, let's just get down the colour now. they might counter this. They have removal, don't they? Yeah. That's fine. We do get the monk. Do they have another Cossack SL? We have seen them discard one. And it is an instant. It's going to grow it down to... We're going to grow it out of range of the exhale, but... to give them another threat to maybe have to deal with. So let's stock up. We'll get Turn Inside Out and another Swifty. And let's just go face with Bolt Wave. Do you have another Caustic Exhale? They omen their Meringue River Regent. We get in for 8. They're down to 4. They need a board wipe, and I'm assuming they're playing the Dragon deck, which has the Scavenger Regent, which is a board wipe. But then... that should be it. It was lucky we hit the Bolt Wave there, because we wouldn't have anything to play Inside Out on to create the monk, and then obviously the monk by itself wouldn't be lethal. We go first. We have an okay hand, no cutter. Same as. Well, let's plot. We might take a big hit, but hopefully not. It's actually quite like a third land. So they're the more traditional mono red. There's the third land. Well, let's show off. Let's do this now to see what we would hit. I'm going to take out their mouse. We hit him down to 7. And essentially, one of our creatures can get there. I don't think they can do 18 with 2 Swiftspears. Yeah, they can't. And that is the W. Boom, there we go. We go first with a Cori-Steel Cutter. That's pretty good. What we'll probably do... Well, we'll Swiftspear turn 1. We'll probably plot the Showoff turn 2. And next turn we can Cori-Steel Cutter and Showoff. And we'll Bolt Wave. That's not a bad turn. Temporary Lockdown. No, just a stock up. Which I'm fairly sure means they're dead. Yeah, it does. I think even just casting the stock up kills them. So we get 2 with a Swiftspear, 3 with the Showoff, and then 2 with the Cutter. Well, the Monk with the Cutter on it. I think our opponent does have to discard down a hand size. Oh, Bellow's Awakening. Yeah. We hit him for 8 at least. We take another shock and a land. Well, we played the land, but a shock obviously, well, I say puts us over the top. We're already over the top. Opponent goes first. Well, we had the Cutter, and then the turn afterwards we can Burst Lightning and Shock. I think we just take out Ruby now. It does make it harder to double spell. But we don't want our opponent getting their ramp on. A Swiftspear or a... Wow, 20 lands. Problem is, we just have to take out the Hydra. 20 lands and we see 5 of them. Next turn we can stock up and hopefully cast something else. To start getting our aggro on. So they wanted to save that fated passage, fable passage for their Hydra. Well, there's a Swiftspear, so we can definitely double spell this turn. We'll take a Monstrous Rage and a Burst Lightning. But I think bizarre, we were kind of a bit too slow because we had to take out a couple of their creatures. Maybe we should have ignored them. Next turn we can stock up. Maybe Burst Lightning to get the next token. And then Monstrous Rage. What are they ramping into? Oh, another Swiftspear. They definitely have something. Opt and a Monstrous Rage. Let's hit him for 8. And we hope I don't have another one. Oh, it's Ali. When they get their own steel, well, one of our steel cutters. What are they exile? Land and White Elves. So let's steel cutter. Swifty. Should play at Swiftspear first, shouldn't I? And swing in. And yeah, we had lethal just then. In fact, I think we already had lethal before triggering prowess again. We go first. Well, I do like the Cori-Steel Cutter and Showoff combo. So let's plot the Showoff. Now I have a Swiftspear. I imagine they have an Opt. Let's buff our Showoff. They're down to 11. What can they do? Rend Resolve. But I imagine they are just dead. Yep. There we are. -8. We're getting for, was that 19 in that turn? Pretty powerful. opponent goes first. This is, well, we've got a lot of card draw. Unfortunately, our Shivan Reef is going to hurt us. Maybe not. I assume they block. Yeah, you never know though. Oh, they kept to one lander. Well, I think we just slam in and then opt. Would really want to Steel Cutter. Yeah, they did keep one lander. That was bold. Well, let's play out a Showoff. And let's put a combat research on the Showoff. Help us draw some cards. Do they attack? I imagine they can't. Not favourably. Yeah, I think we just have lethal. None of their creatures have reach. Yeah, them being stuck on land for one land a few turns didn't help them. Well, you go first with a Cori-Steel Cutter, then a lot of 1-drops. If they play something we can kill, we will kill it, but they haven't. Well, let us shock. Let us bolt wave. And let's play combat research on our monk. Hopefully we don't have a bounce spell. No, just a torture tower. It's annoying, we lose our combat research. I would like a non-land. We'll go face with that. Hear the siren. And let's hold it for now, because it could whiff removal. And obviously if I have another one, it's taken them 2. But we really need here to stock up. You have no available mana. We can trample over for 2. A stock up would be fantastic. Well, an opt, I think, is a decent option. And another opt. Everyone's favourite, Monstrous Rage. Yeah, we get there. That was a very slow game from our side. Well, probably end up plotting maybe both show-offs. So we would like a cutter. If they have Deep Cavern Bat, I am going to be very displeased. Let's just plot another one. Ah, so it's Poison deck. We should be able to outrace this. Right. Showoff 1. Showoff 2. Bolt Wave. Research on one of them. Yeah, we just have lethal. We could have one-shot on. Hello Magic fans and welcome back to a very quick wrap up. So this deck is annoyingly powerful. Annoyingly so because we don't want red to get better. And I keep wanting to say mono red and I know it's not, but it essentially is. It's the same components of prowess and smashing. I know I think Swiftspear is rotating out in the summer, but then you still have a Showoff and now Cori-Steel Cutter. But it's very quick deck, so it's a great way to get up the ladder because it's very powerful. It's very resilient because the Steel Cutter is an artifact. Even if your opponent wipes the board and you have multiple spells to cast, you can get that monk token again. It does fall down to temporary lockdown, but didn't actually face any of those in this deck. This deck would just be destroyed by temporary lockdown, but a lot of decks are. So really, really powerful. Annoyingly so because we don't really get better, but if you just want to have a few quick games and work your way up the ladder, play this deck. I only lost one game in the mirror match, and that's because I kept a hand with no creatures, which was a mistake, and only 2 lands, and we just didn't quite get there. But don't do that, or I've also won doing that as well, but maybe do that. But yeah, it's a very powerful deck, very quick deck. Hope you'll enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.